We're now joined by Otis Rolley, Head of Philanthropy and Community Impact at Wells Fargo and Company and President of the Wells Fargo Foundation. Good to see you, Mr. Rolley.
Really good to be here.
Let me also disclose that Wells Fargo is a significant underwriter of our work at our not-for-profit production company. Mr. Rolley, talk about the work of the foundation and work of Wells Fargo, particularly in not-for-profit organizations making a difference disproportionately in urban communities, please.
Sure. We're just eager for our corporate foundation, one of the largest in the country, to really help to address some systemic issues. And so we target our investment, our philanthropic strategic investments, and nonprofits that are focused in areas where we have expertise: small business and entrepreneurship, housing access and housing affordability, and financial health.
Yeah, some of those organizations include the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey, Latina Entrepreneurship Training Series Program, and New Jersey Community Capital Equitable Small Business Initiatives. In these very challenging times, 3 years into COVID, nonprofits, and we are one of them, not just fighting to stay relevant and alive, but we're constantly raising money. What have you seen in the not-for-profit community, particularly in urban areas, as it relates to their efforts to keep fundraising successful and allowing the organization to thrive?
It has definitely been a challenging time, particularly in light of the pandemic. I think many nonprofits have had to really struggle, not just in terms of fulfilling their mission in a difficult time, but also being able to fund the mission. So I think what we've seen, the philanthropic community has really stepped up. Fortunately, I think federal, state government, particularly during the pandemic, offered a lot of different grants and loans as well. Because at the end of the day, these small business, these nonprofits are small businesses. They employ tons of individuals. They are dramatic and significant contributors to our overall health in terms of the economy. And again, because we see small business and entrepreneurship as critical, not just to the health of New Jersey, but to the health of our nation, and it is a primary area of expertise for us, our foundation has tried to do a significant amount of outreach and support, particularly during these trying times.
Mr. Rolley, you are from Jersey City originally.
Born and raised.
I'm a Newarker, born and raised. I see a smile on your face as soon as I see Jersey City. Because?
Well, because it was where I was raised, it was where I was shaped. It's one of the most diverse places actually in the United States. I had the privilege of learning about culture and about the cornucopia that is humanity in Jersey City. I just, the people who have invested in me, family, friends, etc., it happened there. And so I have a lot of love for my hometown and for my home state.
I hear you. One of the organizations that you support, that Wells Fargo supports, that we're very aware of, is a very important national initiative with local tentacles, if you will, and that's LISC, the Local Initiative Support Corporation, LISC. Why is LISC so important, particularly in urban communities?
Well, we are really careful in terms of who we choose to partner with, because we understand as a foundation, there's a weird power dynamic there, funder to fundee, right? And so we try to make it very clear that, no, it's a real partnership. And LISC is one of those that really satisfy the due diligence, not just in the state of New Jersey, but around the country. They've been a real partner in community development and economic development. And that's because the local affiliates really have the ability to adjust and be flexible and meet the needs, the needs of the community that they serve. And we just found them to be a phenomenal partner in the state of New Jersey. They know the community, they have relationships there. They understand how, and the only way that we're going to be able to bridge that divide, that economic divide, and kind of reduce the racial wealth gap is by making key strategic investments in individuals and in communities. And that aligns with the values of the Wells Fargo Bank and the foundation.
Mr. Rolley, where does, again, in these very challenging times, inflation is what it is, economic struggles that people face every day, and even though the unemployment figures seem to be positive, those are statistics. People's lives are much more complicated. The reason I asked, that's the reason why I asked this question, the place for employee volunteerism, because people are saying, very often it's like, well, you want me to volunteer? I'm trying to keep my head above water, trying to feed my family, and now you're talking about volunteerism. Talk about that. It matters more than ever.
It really does, because at the end of the day, while our jobs provide us with the financial means to live, the living part of who we are is connecting to the other humans in our places of work, in our communities, and our neighborhoods. And we have long had a history of support for employee volunteerism. We have over 250,000 employees, and we provide a couple of days off where we pay them to go and volunteer, because we feel like it's an important connection. It helps you to realize that the individuals who you're working for and with are truly your neighbors. And so when you see the red shirts coming, as we often, when we volunteer, we're wearing our red jerseys or polos. We see it as a critical part of our mission in being a real corporate citizen.
You talk about this from a corporate perspective, but I'm curious about this. Before I let you go, to what degree is the work you do highly personal for you?
It is. I do see it as not just a job, but it's kind of a mission for me. I studied urban planning, urban studies with a concentration in housing, community economic development, and I've been blessed with the ability over the last 25 years of doing housing, community, and economic development. I'm really trying to bridge that divide and advance a sense of equity. Some of the struggles that I had at Lincoln High School in Jersey City, and seeing how a public school in Jersey City was not as supported in the way that some of our suburban neighbors were. That struggle around the inequity has been deep, and has really helped to inform a lot of the work that I do. I'm so excited about the opportunity to advance an equity agenda at the Wells Fargo Foundation. The bank values it, and that aligns with my personal values.
Well said. You've been listening to and watching Otis Rolley, who is the head of Philanthropy and Community Impact, Wells Fargo and Company, and also president of the Wells Fargo Foundation. Mr. Rolley, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the opportunity. Have a good one.
You too. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Dr. Luke Ironman, a family medicine specialist at Holy Name. When was your last visit to your primary care doctor? Throughout the pandemic, many patients have put off their annual physicals and screenings, but preventative healthcare is critical for early detection of illnesses and to avoid future health problems. Your doctor can also help you develop a wellness plan to achieve your personal health goals. Your health can't wait. Be proactive and talk to your primary care doctor today about scheduling your annual physical.
Also brought to you by Holy Name. This place is different. Newark Board of Education. PSEG Foundation. PSE&G, committed to providing safe, reliable energy now and in the future. NJ Best, New Jersey's 529 College Savings Plan. The North Ward Center. Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Johnson & Johnson. And by NJM Insurance Group, serving New Jersey's drivers, homeowners, and business owners for more than 100 years.